Hello, as an elite health strategist, I'm going to help you men know the difference between belly fat and how man boobs are something that you do not go to the gym to solve. So I'm going to use a very popular person here. It is the School of Hard Knocks. It's a young man that goes and interviews millionaires and billionaires, asking them how they got so rich. And I'm going to go ahead and comment on this man's body so that you can learn something from this interaction so that you don't go, how should I say, barking up the wrong tree when it comes to how you solve some health problems. So let's watch, and then I'll intervene here with some commentary.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, how old were you when you became a millionaire?
28.
How did you get rich, my friend?
Music.
Music. And what's your name?
It's the biggest.
Rick Ross. And I go all over the world interviewing billionaires to help the younger generation. Can I get 1 minute with you for the channel real quick?
Why not?
For the people that don't know, did you come from a lot of money?
I wish.
Yeah.
I really wish.
Did you have people that doubted you when you started out?
It's people that, believe it or not, it's people that still doubt me.
Why?
That's just.
Okay, he's talking about people doubting him. Here's what I'm doubting. I'm looking at Rick Ross and thinking, man, he has a lot of healthy self-esteem to be comfortable in his own skin, to have this shirt wide open so that we can see his body. Now, granted, he has a lot of tattoos, so maybe that's what he is showing us all here. But what I want you to take note of as an elite health strategist, what I'm seeing is the soft tissue on his pecs. Some of you might look at that and say, well, Rick Ross just needs to go to the gym and work out and build muscle. No. Going to the gym and building muscle isn't going to solve the problem that you see here. And the reason for that is that if you take a look lower, you'll notice that he has a belly. And on this belly that he has here, it's actually what we call a Dunlop, when the belly just Dunlops over the belt. And that's what's going on here. That belly is probably soft, and it's subcutaneous fat. The amount of fat that he has there for as long as it's been there, it's going to cause his testosterone levels to go down because it causes estrogen to go up. And here's what you guys have to understand. We men and women both have testosterone and estrogen. We just have different amounts. But when you have belly fat, it actually is like an organ, not just extra food in a pantry, which is what I like to tell my clients, is belly fat is actually a good thing when there's a famine, because it's food for you so that you don't starve and go hungry. But in Rick Ross's case, he's probably had too much of it for too long, and it's now becoming another organ where it has a mind of its own. And what it's doing, it's causing this, what they call aromatase. It's an enzyme that comes out that causes the testosterone to go down and the estrogen to go up, which is causing what we call the man boobs. So going to the gym isn't going to solve the problem unless he solves the testosterone problem. Some of you are going to say, well, wait a minute, Janina, why doesn't he just take testosterone injections or testosterone cream or testosterone pills? Well, the problem with that is those are what we call exogenous, meaning they come from outside of the body in. They're not going to be bioavailable, which means your body's not going to treat it the same as the normal testosterone that his own body will make. So why is his body not making enough testosterone? Well, when he goes to sleep at night, if you take a look, his neck is pretty thick. That neck is too wide. He needs to lose some weight, and the weight will probably get lost first from the neck because the body's not stupid. The body wants you to be able to breathe when you go to sleep at night. And with a thick neck, it's going to have extra weight on it, and it's going to cause the windpipe to be squashed. And that's going to cause him to choke, and he's going to have what they call sleep apnea. Now, some of you out there will say, well, Janina, Rick Ross probably has a CPAP device that he puts on his mouth, or the mask over his mouth at night so that he can breathe. Well, hopefully he does. But the problem is still there, that the belly has not gone down and the man boobs are still there. So obviously something else is amiss. What I do is what I call house calls, where I go in and I do the 1/4-inch turns that someone like Rick Ross would need in order to be able to enjoy his lifestyle, enjoy the food that he wants to eat and the drinks that he wants to consume, but yet still be able to drop 2 pant sizes in less than 6 months. And how do I do that? Well, it's all done in-house because it's the only way to really see things as they really are and make those tweaks where it is a faster result with less effort on his part. I'm not going to make him go to the gym. I'm not going to make him food prep. I'm not going to make him eat chicken without skin on it. I'm not going to make him do all those silly things that you have all these what I would call health gurus talking about. Nope, it's about tapping into his hormonal situation, the gears of the human body. The body's so intelligently designed, guys, that it's just waiting for you to tap into those gears that are right there, waiting for you to get out of your own way. And no, it's not diet or exercise. But here's the important thing I want you to see is how old he is, because this is an important factor.
Come with the game.
Why don't you listen to them?
I never listened to them. That's why I made it. You can't listen to nobody but yourself and your heart.
But you've already made hundreds of millions of dollars throughout your career. You're still going. What keeps Rick Ross motivated, man?
I'm doing what I love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's amazing to be 20 summers in up from my first release and still get that love.
How old are you?
I'm glad that he is
Your longevity is
doing what he
admirable, man.
loves, and that in a way is helping him to live a longer life, but that's not going to be enough. And I'm going to rewind it here because I wanted you to hear this part, and I'm sorry I interrupted it.
First release and still get that love.
How old are you?
I just celebrated my 50th.
Your longevity is
Okay, so he's 50. Because Rick Ross is 50 years old, he's now at the decade in his life where this belly fat is going to become toxic for him. When you're younger, guys, you can get away with belly fat that's not as toxic to your health. What I'm concerned about Rick Ross having is problems with the extra weight causing knee issues, where he might have to have an eventual knee surgery. And if that doesn't get resolved soon enough, then he may also need a hip surgery in the future. But more importantly, he needs to be around for another 30, 40, 50 more years because he's built an empire. He needs to stay the king of this empire, and he needs to have his mind sharp and his energy up. And with low testosterone, you're not going to have the sharpness up here, or you're not going to have the energy. Or maybe he'll need to rely on energy drinks to get him through the day. And if he's doing the energy drinks, they're going to cause problems for him at night that he's not going to go into deep sleep where he needs to get into so he can repair his body. So Rick, if your team is listening to this, or you are, I want you to know, I know that you have great security team protecting you from harm, but right now the internal security is asleep at the wheel. That's where I come in. I do house calls, quarter-inch turns to make your life able to get your belly fat to go away naturally without giving up the food that you love, without giving up the drinks that you love, without giving up your lifestyle. And how can that be done? Well, those quarter-inch turns are done to fit into his life as it is now, but to make the quarter-inch turns that I tap into the gears of the human body. Because here's what's important for you guys to understand. The human body is an incredibly dynamic machine built for survival. All you have to know is how to tap into those gears so that the weight can melt off without giving up on Rick Ross's wonderful lifestyle. So on that note, what I want you guys to understand is that age 50 is a critical period. This is why I only work with men that are 50 and older, because it takes you guys to get to a point where you're either sick and tired of being sick and tired, or you're on medications that you no longer want to be on, or you've had some organ that they're telling you that they need to remove, like the appendix, the gallbladder, or maybe there's some kidney issues. But here's the bottom line. All of that is fixable naturally. You don't have to rely on expensive medications, gimmicks, gadgets, and even sometimes surgeries if you can just step in and do those quarter-inch turns that I'm talking about. And what would I do for Rick? First of all, I would just take a look at his schedule. See if we can adjust his schedule accordingly so that he gets better, deeper sleep. So now if you're over the age of 50 and you're tired of having the belly fat, then subscribe to this channel because you're going to hear more about belly fat. The next guy we're going to talk about is one who he's a lot older and his belly isn't going to be soft and squishy like Rick Ross's. His belly is going to be hard And I'm going to tell you what the difference is on an older man with a big belly, but that is hard to the touch, not soft and squishy. Rick, you're actually lucky that you're only 50 years old, because it's going to be easier to help someone like you now. So don't wait too long before calling me to help you. So I'm going to look forward to the future of doing that next video of the man. I believe he lives on Star Island and he has a $173 million home. So be sure and subscribe so you don't miss that video. Take care, guys. We'll see you on the next one.